Good morning, Burley Glenwood boys and girls. You get to say hi to Shadow right there and Denozo right there. And way over here on this table is Ziva. So those are my three cats who are enjoying their morning food. Okay, today we are going to do area lesson 14.4. I hope you have your digital version of your Daily Common Core up and also your workspace mat up. So let's get to it. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so we are going to start this morning with our digital quick check, and yours looks a little different than mine. Make that a little bigger. There we go, we are nice and big. The table below shows the number of sit-ups that Cody did during the week. Monday, 29, Wednesday, 37, Friday, 81. How many sit-ups did Cody do for the whole week? And there you get to hear Chloe. So make sure you stack them and add them. Number 2, mental math. A grocery store has 40 boxes of granola bars on the shelves. So there's 40 boxes total, stacked up nice on the shelves. There are 5 bars in each box. So each of those boxes has 5. So if you only had 2 boxes, 5 plus 5 is 10. If you had 4 boxes, you'd have 5, 10, 15, 20. Ooh. If you had 4 boxes, you'd have 20 bars. You don't have 4 boxes, you have 40. You want to think of this as multiplication. So you are going to multiply the 5 and the 40. Think of your base fact that we just did. And then remember, you're going to need an additional place on it because it's going to be a 3-digit number. Number 3, a newspaper reporter wrote an article about a recent football game. The attendance was 749, but the reporter rounded the number to the nearest 100. Which number did the reporter use? So I'm going to set that one up like if you were doing it on paper, what I would want you to set it up like. You have the 749, and it is telling you you're rounding it to the nearest 100. I'm going to underline the hundreds place, draw an arrow. Ooh, that was pretty good. To the tens. You need to think of the silly little rhyme. 5 or above, give it a shove. 4 or below, let it go. So your arrow is pointing to a 4. So keep that in mind as you decide to round it. Is it going to be 900, 800, 750, or 700? Number 4, Stuart wants to see a movie tonight. The movie starts at 7:10. He looks at the clock and sees the time shown. How long does Stuart have before the movie starts? So I'm going to highlight the 7:10. That's important to keep in mind. And we're looking at what the clock shows right now. It's easiest to start here with how many minutes. So it's at the 9, so if I count by 5s, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. It's 45 minutes after. Also can be thought of as 15 minutes till. Now, our hour hand is between the 5 and the 6. That means it's not quite 6 o'clock. So if a few moments ago I said it was 15 minutes till, it's not quite 6 o'clock. So what hour does that put it in? Hopefully you just thought 5:45. So that's your current time. You want to count on and see how much time it would be till the movie started. Could you add an hour onto 5:45? Well, if we did, it would be 6:45. And then you need to count on, you can count on in 5-minute chunks to get to 7:10. So you have at least 1 hour And now you're figuring out the number of minutes. So what I want you to do, you're going to have your 1 hour, and you're going to have so many minutes. A lot of kids are tempted when they're writing it to write it and make it look kind of like this. Don't do that. I want to know how many hours and how many minutes. Okay, write an equivalent fraction for, you take my glasses off, things are fuzzy, 4, 6. So I'm going to start with the 4, 6. Now you have a choice. You can either multiply the top and bottom by 2 to get an equivalent fraction. So your top would be larger and your bottom would be larger. In other words, your numerator and your denominator. Or you could divide both of them by 2 and go with a smaller one. So if you go with a smaller one, 4 divided by 2 is, hopefully you just saw me do it invisible 2. 6 divided by 2 is, hopefully you saw that invisible 3. So if you were paying attention and you're watching the video, I expect to see 2/3 as your answer on that one. Kind of I'll know who watched the video and who didn't based on what kind of answers you put for that one. Number 6, after school, Juan works packing boxes at the bookstore. Each box holds 5 books. How many boxes will he need to pack 100 books? So you are thinking, what times 5 equals 100? You can think of this as a, what base fact would you use? So something times 5, highlight that. So something times 5 is 10. Something times 5 is 10. Then you have to remember, oh, I've got this extra 0 hanging out over here. So I cannot forget to put that extra 0 on it. So this one is a 2-digit number. And don't just wild guess. Once you have something, double check it, make sure it works. Okay, now we're going to go watch the video. I need to get that back. And there's our video. Okay, let's minus that. You don't need to see all my Smartboard files. Okay, we need to go up and get the audio working. Share computer sound. There we go.
How can you find the area of a figure? Think about this question during the lesson. A small can of chalkboard paint covers 40 square feet. The picture shows the area of one wall in Mike's room. Does Mike need more than one small can to paint one wall of his room? Let's find out. Area is the number of square units needed to cover a figure. To find out if Mike needs more than one small can to paint one wall of his room, you can count the square units to find the area. There are 48 square units. The area of Mike's wall is 48 square feet.
You can also measure to find the length of each side and then multiply the side lengths to find the area. Area equals length times width. Use the values for the length and the width to find the area. What is the area of Mike's wall?
The area of Mike's wall is 48 square feet. Does Mike need more than one small can of paint to paint his wall? One small can of chalkboard paint covers 40 square feet. The area of Mike's wall is 48 square feet, so he will need more than one small can of paint.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's our video for the day. Now, hopefully you pulled up your work mat. So I took the time to make all of us work mats. I'm going to make this bigger so that we can see it better. So this matches what I'm doing. Oopsie, let's make that bigger than that. Let's go to 200. Maybe I'll just hit zoom in. There we go. George is carpeting a room that is carpeted like a square with dimensions shown at the right. How many square yards of carpet will George need? Show how you found the answer. So I'd like you to pause the video and experiment with this so that it's not just, ooh, Mrs. Mears did it, I'm going to copy her. So pause the video, experiment with it, and then restart the video. Okay, hopefully when you had paused the video, you noticed that I gave you an extra hint here. It says draw a square that is 6 yards on the side. So this is my starting point, this shape here. Right now it's like 2.5 by not even 2. So I need to make sure each side is 6. So there's 3, 4, 5, 6, and now I need to come down. I'm at 2 now, so 3, 4, 5, 6. You could take the time and touch and count. That's acceptable to do. You could use repeated addition. You'd be adding 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6. So 6 sixes. Or you can think of what we just watched in the video. Area equals length times width. Our length was 6 and our width was 6. 6 times 6 is, so I'm gonna grab that spot right there and I'm gonna type in 36 square yards. And then up here, I'm also going to put 36 square yards. Now, if I had figured out how to do the little raise to thingy, I would do that, but I have not figured out how to do that yet in Google Slides. So I'm not going to model that. So does your square have to be right here? No, it could be anywhere on this shape. You do need to make sure that it lines up very nicely on the edges. Okay, so I'm going to go in and get this back to what it started like, because yours, I'll just go like that, because yours is a copy of this. And put you back in the corner. Alrighty, so now this is back for you guys, ready for you to type on it. Number 1 through 4. So remember on, I think this falls on a, no, yeah, this falls on a Monday. All you need to do is watch part of the video, do the interactive practice, do the CCR, and do the guided practice or any interactive learning. You don't have to do the entire lesson in one day. If you choose to, that's your choice or your family's choice, but you only have to do a half-hour math a day. So number 1 through 4, find the area of each figure. So I know these are low enough numbers that you could touch and count, but the whole purpose of today's lesson was this formula, area equals length times width. So we are going to practice that. So number 1, A equals length times width. Now I need to come up here. My length is 7 inches. So enter. I don't know my area yet, haven't figured that out, equals, my length was 7, and my width is 3. So I need to put the 3 in. Now, 7 times 3 is, hopefully, you just went, oh, that's 21. So I can now say 21. And I may see if I can figure out how to do that little 2. So I typed the 2, I've highlighted it. Now I'm going to come up here to all my different font choices. I'm going to take my glasses off so I can see better. Oh. Is there a drop down? No. Let's see, format options. Okay, nothing happened there. Bullets, number list, line spacing, align. I know exactly how to do it in, oh, maybe it's that. Let's try that. Nope. Let's click on format. Oh, text. Oh, there we go. So I went up to format and then I hit text and then I am going to superscript. Oh, you see how it made the 2 up high? So yay. But for the next one, I'll probably just copy paste it. Okay, for number 2, I need to start with my formula. Area equals length times width. And that's a lowercase l. When we are doing formulas, we use lowercase letters. I don't really like that the L looks a lot like a 1, but we just have to keep that in mind. So right now, I don't know what it's going to be. I know my length is 5, and my width is 4. So I need to be thinking, what is 5 times 4? And I'm going to borrow this. I'm going to copy it. Control C, Control V. I am going to have to change that to an M. It's not going to be inches anymore. So change that to an M. 5 times 4 is not 21. It's close to it, but it's not 21. Hopefully you just did that quickly in your head and went with 20. So 20 meters squared is the area. Oh, I don't really like what I did there. Okay, I don't want to go back and redo the whole video, but I am going to change something because it dawned on me that I just did this wrong. So I'm going to do Control C, Enter, Control V. This is supposed to be A. A equals 7 times 3. Oh, come back here. Make my box bigger. Come on, box. There we go. And then A equals, there we go. Now that's right. So same thing here. I'm going to grab that, Control C, Enter, Control V. Make that an A. And don't really like how it's lined up. So I'm going to be persnickety and line it up. There we go. Okay, now it looks exactly like it does in the video. Okay, on to number 3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to borrow this whole thing for number 2. And I'm going to slide it in here for number 3. But we'll get rid of that 2. So I still have the same formula. My numbers are not the same. I need to change my numbers, 6 and 9. So my length is 9. Let's make that a 9. My width is 6. I'll make that a 6. Now 9 times 6 definitely is not 20, and it's not 20 feet. So I need to change my label. So make that FT, and I'm going to put down my 9th finger. So here's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oopsie, brain fart, not working. Put down my 6th finger, 50. Ooh, it's Monday morning and I haven't drank enough coffee. 6th finger, this would be 6th finger. Whoop, there we go. So I have 54. So if you have days where your brain isn't working, I totally understand because I was just having that moment. Okay, so on this one, we need to change it to a number 4. We still have the same formula. This one gets kind of funky because for a square, you can, sometimes you'll see a formula A equals S2, and that means the side multiplied by itself. We're still going to go with length times width because that's the formula that we're learning right now in 3rd grade. Our length and our width on a square are going to be the same. It also works on special kinds of rhombuses, but not all rhombuses. So 9 centimeters. We need to change this to be a 9, and we need to change this to be a 9. Okay, let's do the hand trick again, and this time I won't mess it up. Putting down my 9th finger because it's 9 times 9, 50, 60, 70, 80, 81. Hello, there we go. And I need to add a C to it, 81 centimeters squared. Okay, what is the formula for the area of a square? Explain how you know. I wish I had the teacher answer guide home with me, but I don't. So we're going to explain both ways because I did just give you a hint on that previous one. So you can use A equals, see, make that bigger. Hello, where's my cursor? Cursor, come back. Guess it's on strike. Oh, there we go. Length times width, or A equals side. I'm going to do side times side. And then beneath it, A equals, I don't really like how those S's look. Okay, now let's highlight that little guy. Hello, I want you highlighted. And we had gone up to format, and we had grabbed text, and we had done superscript. There we go, side squared. And now, have we explained? No. So we need to explain. Because all sides are the same length on a square. Oh, that's funny what it did to the font. Okay, number 6, Mike plans to paint another wall in his room blue. That wall measures 10 feet by 8 feet. How much area does Mike need to paint? So I'm gonna come back over here and snag all of this. Well, that one's feet, so maybe I'll grab this guy, because that one already has feet in it. Okay, that one was not a number 3, that one was a number 6. 10 10 feet by 8 feet. So I'm not doing a 9, I'm doing a 10. Not doing a 6. I'm doing an 8. Now, 10 times 8. And 10 times 8 is 80. So how much area does Mike need to paint? He's going to be painting 80 square feet. And if you remember from earlier, each can covered 40 square feet, so he would need 2 cans in order to do that. They didn't ask it, but I thought it was kind of interesting. Okay, so for those of you that you've done your 30 minutes, you're ready to stop for the day, you can stop now and then come back to this tomorrow. Oh, I have the wrong date on it. Oh, no, I don't. This is for Wednesday. I'm losing my mind. If you find it, let me know. Okay, so. Oh, bummer. I was going to go find a ruler on Smartboard and do this one with the Smartboard. I wish there was a way I could just pause the video. Huh, but I don't think there is. Will it let me pause? No! And I know I have done that before. I wish I remember what lesson in topic 13 had the ruler, but I do not remember. Huh. Okay, let me pull this up and type in ruler and see if we can find a ruler. This one? No. Is it this one? Maybe. Okay, let's type in ruler and see if anything comes up. Okay, let's see, interactive. Oh, yes. Okay, so that's my ruler. Now I need to go to the page that actually will use it. Man, I feel like a million. Okay. You over. Okay, hopefully, oh yay, it will let me change it. So if I had been smart, I would have checked in the teacher's guide to see what it's actually supposed to measure, but I didn't. So we're just gonna go with this. Let's keep in mind when they made this book, they would have set it up so that it measured to the nearest whatever. So it's not going to be a halvesy, or it's not supposed to be a halvesy. So like this guy, I'm guessing this is probably supposed to be a hair bigger. So I'm gonna make it a hair bigger. Oh, there we go. So this is centimeters. Oh, look, it's about 4. So on our thing, it's about 4. Now I gotta do the whoop-de-woo. Whoa, not that far. Okay, there we go. Huh. I'm thinking that was supposed to be like a 4 by 1. So let's go back to here. So we are going to make the assumption that this was supposed to be a 4 by 1. So I'm going to do a Control V. Bring that down here. So this is number 7. It was 4 long and 1 wide. And 4 times 1 is 4. And it's not feet, it's centimeters. Okay, now let's go back to there with our measuring tool that you're following along with. Now, since I already have it oriented this way, I'm going to measure this side first. Alrighty. I wish I had the real book so I could double check it. Unfortunately. So that one was a hair bigger than 1. So we're going to shrink it so that it actually lands on 1. And with my luck, that probably brought that guy down to a 3 by 1 by doing that. So we will go back and check that guy. He's just not shrinking very much. Okay, that's pretty close. Now that we have shrank that, oh, look, it's just about a magical 2. So we're going to call that one 2 by. And let's measure this side. That side, I'm guessing that was supposed to be 4. And let's go back and see what this one was supposed to be. Bet that guy was supposed to be 3. So we're going to go back and we're going to change that other guy. And we're going to remember that this guy was a 2 by 4. Okay, where did it go? There it is. So after reconfiguring this guy, we decided that guy's actually a 3 by 1. So that would be 3. And Control C, Control V, drag you over. So this is number 8. And our length with our stretchy and reconfiguring was 4. And our width was 2. And 4 times 2, oh, that wasn't very smart of me. But while I have it typed, let me grab it. I think I made more errors in this video than I have in just about any other video. That's what happens on a Monday morning. Okay, now 4 times 2 is 8. So that particular shape would have an area. Whoopsie, hello, I wanted to just shrink you, get you out of my way. Of 8 centimeters squared. Okay, let's go on down to this guy. Again, we're going to use that formula. So I'm going to paste that. Oh, darn, I don't have that. Guess I get to type it. A equals length times width. A equals, so my length on this guy, he's kind of short, 4 feet by 9 feet. A equals, okay, so for 4 times 9, I can put down my 4th finger. That's my 5th finger. Boy, my brain and my hands are not connected this morning. 4th finger, and I have 30, here's 5, this one would make 6. So 36, and that would be feet. Need that little 2. Now I need to highlight that little 2. Hello, let's highlight you. Come up here to format, text, and superscript. There we go. Now it's just the size I want. And I'm going to borrow this so I don't have to retype everything. And I'm going to paste you here. Get rid of the 9 because it's not number 9, it's number 10. So area equals length times width. My length on this one is 10. So change my 4 to a 10. My width is 6. That's a nice number to multiply, but it's not going to be 36 and it's not going to be feet. I'm going to change my label first. So it is millimeters. Those are little tiny guys. And 10 times 6 is 60. Okay, well, let's plop our stuff in there, get rid of the 9. So our formula is still length times width. It's not 4 times 9. This one has a width of 5. So I'm going to change that 4 to a 5. And it does not have a, does not have a length of 5. Its width is 7. So you can count by 5s real quick. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Oh, I was close to that. And it's not feet, it's inches. Get rid of that feet. Okay, ooh, that one's a square. I'm still going to use the length times width. I'm not going to do a whole bunch of that side squared. Okay, let's get rid of where it says type here. Alrighty, so 4 yards. Oh, I already have a 4, that's nice. So 4 times 4, and 4 times 4 is not 36. Hopefully you went, ooh, that's 16, Mrs. Mears. And oop, it's yards. I need to get rid of this feet. So YD, yes, yards squared. Yay, done with that page. So now I'm going on to my fourth page. Jen's garden is 4 feet wide and has an area of 28 square feet. What is the length of the garden? I'm going to draw it because I'm a visual person and that helps me out. So I'm going to come up here. Oh, maybe I'll go over here. I'm going to grab this guy, Control C, and go back to here, Control V. So it told me that it was 28. And it's not square yards, it's square feet. Okay. There we go, now it all fits. So I'm going to type in the formula. A equals, and hopefully you're thinking length times width. I know my area is 28 feet. Oopsie, square. Now I'm going to highlight that little, oh no, not yet. I have learned the hard way that if you make the little too soon, it makes everything little, and I don't want everything little. So I know it's 4 feet wide. I don't know my length yet, but I do know this guy's going to be 4 feet. I'm going to make this a different color to remind myself that it's not the number 1, it's an L right now. Okay, now I can go make this guy up high, and text, and superscript. There we go. So I need to think, what do I multiply by 4 to get 28 square feet? So my L, my length, I'm going to write length because that just looks too much like a 1, equals, and hopefully you were thinking, oh, I know that 7 times, 7 times 4 is 28. So our length is 7 feet. Okay, number 14, Diane drew a polygon with 4 sides and 1 set of parallel sides. Okay, well, I'm going to go find that guy. I'm going up to shapes. Shapes, hello. Why is it so small today? That is just weird. I wonder if I change the size. Where's my little dots? Hello, my dots went away. I don't know what I did. Usually there's 3 little dots that I can use to change my size. That's a bummer. Okay, well, I need a shape that has 1 set of parallel sides. Oh, where'd they go? Come back, shapes. Shapes. So this has 2 parallel sides, so rectangle's not going to work. That's a circle. That has way too many sides. There is, oh, I do not see one. Let me take my glasses off, get close. So pardon my forehead. Ooh, there we go. That's what I want. That guy right there. So hopefully you found the same shape and you are thinking that is called a trapezoid. So I can spell it right. There we go. So number 14 is a trapezoid. Okay, number 15. Mr. Andre is putting tile down in his bathroom. The bathroom is 10 feet long and 5 feet wide. The tile costs $8 a square foot. How much will it cost Andre to tile his bathroom? So this one's a multi-step problem. First, we have to figure out how many square feet the bathroom is. And then we have to take into consideration that each square foot is going to cost him $8. So we're going to start first by finding the area of the bathroom. So area equals length times width. And now I need to plug in those numbers that they gave us for the problem. So area equals, so 10 feet long, so there's 10, 5 feet wide, that's a narrow bathroom. So my area equals 50 feet. And there's that little 2. I'll come back and make that small later. Okay, now I am gonna borrow this, Control C, Control V, and I'm gonna come over here. Next to it, I'm gonna put the cost. So I don't need the 15 anymore. I know that's probably number 15. And I really don't need the rest of this. I just wanted a workspace. Ooh, I am gonna start with that 50 now. So my area was 50 square feet. And we already know from our problem that each of those square feet is going to cost me $8. So times $sign is a shift and a 4, $8. So now I want to think of my base fact, 8 times 5. So you could count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. So my base fact, my 8 times 5 is 40. So I need to put that down. Oopsie, not BB. I was trying to hit the space. Now I cannot forget the 0 that was part of the 50. That's an extra, well, it cost a lot of money. $400 for tile for the bathroom floor. So now I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna make that the little superscript. There we go, superscript. And I'm gonna see if I Control C and Control V if I can do it that way. Oh, yay, it worked. I like it when it works. So it would cost him $400 to tile his bathroom. And when Ms. Hadelstadt and I are checking your work, we want to see all this work, not just that you came up with $400. So if you just came up with $400, I know you just borrowed my answer. Okay, number 16. What is the area of Lower Falls Garden? Okay, well, let's do the formula. I should have done that, and I forgot. So Control C, Control V, I'm gonna bring that down here. Area equals length times width. This is number 16. So my length, it is kind of a narrow, well, 2 kilometers, still pretty big. So whoopsie, leave that. So this one's 2. Birds are going nuts outside my door. And it is 9, going that way. So interesting. I wonder what this is supposed to be over here. Some kind of building or something. Alrighty, so, and this is kilometers. So I'm gonna highlight that, make that km. Now it's not gonna be 50. 2 times 9 is, I can do repeated addition, or I can count by 2s 9 times. And hopefully you just came up with 18. So you wanna drag this over and plop it on top of your 18. Don't just plop it on top of 18, I wanna see the work that goes with it first. Okay, now on this, it wants to know if you were to name this shape, would you call it a triangle? Would you call it a pentagon? Could you call it a quadrilateral? Or could you call it a hexagon? So if you're like, yeah, I don't remember, I'm going to talk about the root words. Tri means 3, penta means 5, quad means 4. If you think you ride quads, they have 4 tires. Hexa means 6. So hopefully that helped you name that shape. Oh, I forgot to pull up the video for the end of the thing. Hopefully it has not timed out on me. We are about to find out if it did. This goes to show Mrs. Mears should drink more coffee before making videos, because I have buggled up on this a bunch today. Okay, topic 14, lesson 4. There we go. And I want the digital quick check. Okay, so hopefully you have pulled up your digital quick check. Gave you plenty of time as I was digging for mine for you to find yours in Google Classroom. And if you're like, it's not there, well, your teacher may have it scheduled for a certain day so that you can't just do everything on one day. A chess board that is 8 square units, so that's saying one side is 8, another side is 8, and it is an 8 by 8 shape. What is the area of the chessboard? So on scratch paper, you could do area equals length times width. And then in your next row, area equals 8 times 8. And then on your last row, you would find the product of 8 times 8. And you have to decide, is it 74, 72, 70, or 64? Remember, you can pause the video, make yourself a multiplication chart. Just don't be naughty. Don't get a calculator out. Hi, Meow Meow. Hi, Meow Meow. Okay, number 2, Greg made a card that is 6 inches by 5 inches. What is the area of the card? So area equals length times width. Area equals 6 times 5. You can count by 5s for that one. And you are deciding, is it 22, 30, 52, or 64? You can pause the video, work that one out if you need to. Hello, there it goes. Mrs. Rivera owns a company that makes ceiling tiles. She charges $2 per square foot. How much would it cost to put ceiling tiles in a room that measured 6 feet by 8 feet? So that's about the size of a small bathroom. So first we have to find out how many square feet the ceiling is in that bathroom. So jot down A equals length times width. Then in your next row, A equals 6 times 8. Remember, 6 and 8 go on a date, they come back with. Okay, so now you have just figured out how many square feet that ceiling is, but you have to remember, you're going to multiply that by, because you need to find the total cost. So once you've done that, it's either going to be 106, 100, 96, or 92. And if you need to rewind and listen to that hint again, then do so. Don't just play eeny, meeny, miny, moe. Number 4, the length of one side of a square is 8 inches. What is the area of the square? We had a problem earlier. I think it was number 1, where it was the same concept. So a square is a special type of rectangle. So area equals length times width. Your length and your width are the same. So you will be multiplying the number they gave you by itself. Is it 8 square inches, 16 square inches, 32 square inches, or 64 square inches? Okay, last but not least, Hannah colored a rectangular picture that is 12 inches by 8 inches. Oh, isn't that nice? They give you a big one. So area equals length times width. Then in your next row, area equals 12 times 8. And if you're like, I don't know, 12 times 8, you can use the distributive property and you can break that up. You can break it into 10 times 8 plus 2 times 8. So you can make a smaller problem out of it. You'll end up with the same product. You just made 2 chunks that were easier to deal with. Don't just guess. Use the strategy I suggested. So if you need to rewind and listen to that strategy again, please do so. And remember, your goal is to do better than I am doing, because I did not give you any answers. Hello, next. So when I submit it, I'm going to get a big fat 0. And if you followed all my hints, you should get 80% on these, because I gave you some amazing hints. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have a wonderful day. And not new share, stop share. Hope you have a wonderful day and hope it was entertaining watching my gatos in the background. I think Denozo just jumped down and Shadow's over there stuffing his face on the table. And that's Bree's base right there. And we will see you in a day or two for lesson 4.5 of area. And end.